Hi, and welcome to the second edition of Meet the Ice Falls. I am your reporter, Danielle Dinenna, here with Ben Northern, Jack Kiely, Connor Hamell, and Ian Tulk. Thank you guys for joining today. I know it's kind of a random last-minute thing, but I'm glad that you guys are all here. It's been forever since we've been able to talk, and I just kind of want to let you guys talk about what you've been up to. What have you been doing since quarantine? Jack, you want to start?
Yeah, basically since quarantine, I mean, just spending a lot of time inside, spending a lot of time, honestly, just playing video games, a lot of working out in the basement. And then we're moving down to Tennessee right now. I'm in Franklin right now, usually in Lancaster, PA, but moving down to Franklin right now. We got all the boxes and everything moving in and out. So it's been nice, not too much, but got enough going on.
Welcome to Tennessee. You're closer to the campus, so that's a good thing. Ben, how about you?
First I just started off by finishing up the semester. Got a summer job. Been to the beach a couple times. Did a lot of fishing. That's about it though. Nothing too big.
Hey, it's good to get some relaxing time in. Connor, how about you?
Actually, our family's just moving from Franklin to Iowa. So I've been doing like a lot of farm work on the farm with my cousins and just moving boxes around, playing a lot of basketball and frisbee golf. So not much, just kind of trying to stay active and not sit around too much.
Hey, well, that's awesome. Ian, what about you?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of just sitting around the house. More lately, everything's been opening back up, like the gyms and stuff. So I've been trying to get back out there, get some work done before the season begins.
Awesome. Well, hey, at least you guys have been doing something. That's awesome. I know it's been boring these last few months and nobody's really had a lot to do, and the rinks are finally opening again. So, hey, things are getting back to normal. Okay, so now I want to go into your story prior to coming to Tennessee. What sports did you guys play in high school? What was your life like? Jack, you want to start?
Yeah, so before I came down, I was up, Lancaster, PA, Central PA area. In high school, I played hockey and lacrosse for the school team. And then as far as club hockey went, actually, we had a bunch of teams around us, but I ended up driving about an hour and a half out to just south of Philly, playing there. So, I mean, a lot of driving, a lot of moving around, but a lot of being active at the same time. It was great, though.
That's awesome. Ben, what about you?
So I lived in West Tennessee, Jackson. Played a lot of hockey, inline hockey, ice hockey. Played tennis a little bit. I've gotten into golf. Um, that's my sports life. Outside of sports, I played some video games, hung out with friends, just did typical high school things.
And Ben, your older brother Graham was the president of the club. How does it feel to kind of step up and continue the Northern name?
It's great to continue our, I guess, legacy is what he's built for our family name. I've got a younger brother too that's coming up that'll hopefully continue that too with Ice Balls later. Having him kind of guide me along throughout the process of becoming an Ice Ball, it's been great to have him with me.
Yeah, for sure. And Connor, how about you?
Originally, I was in Texas and didn't play hockey from my freshman year and sophomore year, and just played football there. But when I moved to Franklin, I picked up hockey and baseball again, and just basically played baseball all summer and hockey all winter. So just basically sports year round is pretty much what I did. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary.
Ian, how about you?
I've been a local guy most of my life. I've lived in Knoxville, Farragut area for 16 years, and I just thought UT would be a good fit for me. I played hockey. I've been playing hockey for like 10 years. I played it for my high school, and I just picked up hockey, and it was a lot of fun.
And how about the program? Did that have any effect on you guys coming to Tennessee?
Um, I would say yes. I was definitely looking for a school that would have hockey because it's a big part of my life,
Yeah.
and it's a really good stress relief and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And from what I can tell, the team is pretty close. Do you guys have any stories or memories from last season that you want to talk about?
I mean, there's definitely a couple. I think the big thing is, you know, taking the vans down. I know there's a lot of teams that, have the funding to take some nice charter buses down, but I mean, honestly, I kind of prefer the vans. You pack 8 guys in a van that should, fit 8 guys, and then you throw all the hockey bags in there. It's a nice tight space, and everyone's kind of forced to bond, but it got us all really close. And I'll tell you what, like, there's nothing I love more than sitting in those vans for 5-6 hours driving to the middle of nowhere to play a game.
I feel like the vans are probably the best part, and the hotel rooms. I remember everybody being hungry for Waffle House at like 3 a.m. I was asleep, and they come barging in my room. I was the only driver that was available at the time, and I was asleep. They come barging in my room. I remember Clarky puts his head in my microwave, says, "If you don't take us to Waffle House, I'm gonna do something. I can't remember, steal your microwave or something like that."
And Ian, you have a nickname, Jan. Explain that nickname. I know it has a story behind it.
Oh, it's a long story. Let's just say it's with a Wendy's worker. I was being a bit too stern. She said that she pronounced my name wrong. I got a little bit more angry than I should have, and it's just stuck with me since.
How do you guys feel about
It is
it?
an old lady too.
It wasn't. She wasn't that old.
Old lady.
She was
When
not that old.
letters, when they're serving the names, they have like a curvy kind of letters, and that I and Ian looked like a J, and she comes out and she's like, Jan? He's like, it's Ian. You know, we were in the car for like 4 hours. Everyone's hungry. Aaron's got a short timer. You know, Ian's like, it's Ian, and we were all like, you know what? It's Jan now.
I didn't mean to say it so mean.
That's funny. And I know you guys all have nicknames. What are they?
Oh, Big Diesel.
Yeah.
Big Diesel.
That was a fun one.
Why don't you explain that one, Big Diesel?
Yeah. So on the way down to Charleston, we had to stop for gas, and then the vans, they take just regular gas, unleaded. But I put it in. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if this thing takes diesel. You're right. We Googled it and everything. It said it did, so I was like, sure. I put the diesel knob in. It fit and everything, right? So I was like, okay, well, if it didn't take diesel, the knob wouldn't fit in.
Yeah.
Put like 3 gallons in because we just needed a little bit to get down. Thank God I only put 3 gallons in. But we get down there, play the game. After the game, we go to turn the van on. It's like, and I'm like, oh.
It's going put.
We just like push it up to the gas station, fill the whole thing. Fill the whole thing with like premium and make sure it was running right and everything. I drove around with that probably for 2.5 hours after the game to make sure it was running right and everything. And
Funny part is we drove like 100 miles with diesel in it, and it was fine.
No problems.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, why do you guys think explode? Connor, Ben, how about you guys? Any nicknames?
Mine's Hammer because my last name's like the first 3 letters are Hammer, and I'm more of not much of a stick kind of guy, kind of a bigger dude, I guess, kind of tall, just kind of fit well. I don't know, kind of the man I guess Hammer works with. I guess I don't really know, just kind of stuck.
Hammer.
Fitz, Ben, you anything?
Nah, I just kind of go by Ben, whatever.
Hey,
Doesn't
very-
ram.
Okay.
Stock cage, yeah.
Yeah, I know with Ian. I didn't know his name was Ian. I just knew him as Jan whenever I first met everybody, and I was like, wait, that's
Yeah, I feel like that's
real
gonna
name,
happen a lot.
that's funny. But back to hockey. I know that hockey players are superstitious. A lot of people left skate first, certain meals pregame. How about you guys? What are your superstitions before games?
I just have to go meditate for a couple minutes before the game. I've listened to the same set of songs in the same order, like, before I get on the ice. I go out there and just meditate mostly because I have just, no temper control. So I figure might as well be calm when I go out there so it can, fall apart 5 minutes in versus at the start. But it's really it.
And what songs are there?
Huh?
What songs are there?
Stop Trying to Be God by Travis Scott. And then, we just kind of bounce from there. Usually a Weekend by Mac Miller. That's just the two. Go out there, about 8 minutes worth of music. Sit there, head on the glass, and good to go.
There you go. Ian?
I usually put all my equipment on in the same order. I feel like that's just a pretty basic thing, but I also tie my skates once before I get on the ice and then once while I'm on the ice during warm-ups. I don't know. It's just a thing that I do.
Whatever works, right? Ben, how about you?
Yeah, so I always take a nap at some point throughout the day, take my stick before the game, and then before we go out on the ice, I'll say a quick prayer in the locker room and just get ready.
Awesome. Connor?
So I usually drink about 2 or 3 cans of pineapple juice before to kind of help deflame my muscles and joints because during baseball, I just noticed that drinking pineapple juice made my elbow not hurt. So I was like, well, it's going to help for hockey as well. And then right before we go out, me and a teammate, Max Galpin, also do a quick prayer before we go out.
That's awesome. Well, how about you guys? You guys have any songs? I know Jack shared his, but what about you?
I also have some Travis Scott songs, but it's only one, and I don't know the name of it. I just heard it in the locker room one time, and I was like, this is good enough for me. So that's the only one I really listen to right before we go out. And then everything else is just kind of country music because that's kind of what I'm here for. Kind of gets me going.
There you go. Ben, you?
Yeah, I listen to just about anything that's Aerosmith. Aerosmith gets me going, gets me ready.
Got you. Jen?
I usually just listen to whatever the boys are playing in the locker room. Usually gets me more hyped up listening to it with everybody else than by myself.
That's awesome. And to round this out, freshman year for you all was incredible. The team came from winning, 2 games the year before to making the SEC tournament. Were your expectations blown out of the water?
Honestly, expectation-wise, coming into the season, before the orange and white game in the spring, when everyone was down there, I wasn't really sure what to expect. But we got down there, and the skill level was just phenomenal down at that orange and white game. So I felt like we had something building coming into the year. We came into the year, picked up a couple of older guys that, hadn't played in the years before. And, the way everything came together coming into the season, I feel like SEC tournament was definitely an expectation. Ended up playing the 2 best teams from the conference in there. So the turnout wasn't what we expected. But, I think going into next year just boosts those expectations even more.
For sure. Ben?
Yeah, so coming into the season in training camp practices before game started, Johnny would always say that his main goal for the season was to make the SECs. Coming from 2 wins last season, I thought it was a pretty lofty goal, but it was doable. It was definitely hard work to get there, but we got there, and it was a great time there.
Connor, how about you?
To be honest, I had no idea what to expect coming in, and then we had a huge freshman class with a lot of talent. And I was like, I feel like we can be quite a bit better than 2 wins just based on what we had the freshmen, let alone all the upperclassmen that we had. Not that we had a lot, but the key players that we did have that were upperclassmen were very good as well. And then it started clicking early in the season and kind of rode a little wave in the beginning, and then just kept going. I didn't think we did too bad in the beginning, and just didn't turn on in the end how we wanted it. But hey, that's a big stepping stone from 2 wins last season.
It definitely is. The program did turn around. Jan, what are your thoughts?
Coming into the season, I wasn't really expecting much. I was just expecting to play some hockeys with a few guys I knew. Coming in, I only knew really 2 people. I knew Bunch, and I knew Walker and Stack. That's all the people I knew, and then I just stuck with them. And then throughout the first 3 wins, we were just riding the wave. Team chemistry really started to come together then, and that's what I think really helped boost us throughout the rest of the season.
And what do you guys expect for next season? What should the fans expect?
I mean, I know at least from my perspective, I know we have, a big class coming in again.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good players coming in. So I think the competition for spots is just going to, be raised to a completely new level. I think the jump from this year to next year is going to resemble what we were looking at from the jump from, 2 and 22 and 22, whatever we were, to making the SECs this year. So I think we should, fans, I know at least for me as a player, I feel like that's kind of, across the board for the team. I think we're all expecting, to do much better than last year, especially with, some play experience, some chemistry boost, all that.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. It was good to catch up with everyone, and hopefully we can see each other in about a month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.